What if the most tragic role a sporting icon ever plays happens when the stadium lights go dark and the cameras finally stop rolling? Some football players win trophies, some players achieve fame, but only a select few become the very living identity and beating heart of an entire football institution. For 2 glorious decades, Franco Baresi stood as the impenetrable wall of AC Milan, a fearless captain, a world-class defender, and a leader whose sheer presence intimidated the greatest attackers in history. But while the footballing world remembered his unmatched achievements on the pitch, Franco was quietly facing his final, most difficult chapter of it, fighting an uphill battle against illness far away from the public eye. Today, we invite you to journey with us as we honor the life, the tragic passing, the career, and the immortal legacy of Il Capitano. Franco Baresi was born on the 8th of May 1960 in the quiet, working-class town of Travagliato, located in the province of Brescia, Italy. Growing up in a humble, traditional household, he learned the values of hard work, humility, and absolute discipline long before he ever put on a pair of professional football boots. But life tested young Franco with unimaginable grief. Before he could even navigate his teenage years, tragedy struck his home when he lost both of his parents in rapid succession. Deprived of a mother and father at such a tender age, he was forced to mature much earlier than other children his age. In the midst of darkness and grief, football became his ultimate sanctuary and his single greatest source of hope. Every spare moment outside of school was spent kicking a worn-out ball along dirt fields. Even as a child, local onlookers and youth coaches noticed something profoundly unique about him: an unusual calmness, an uncanny intelligence, and a relentless work ethic that would eventually define one of the most celebrated careers in football history. From rejection to the Rossoneri. As a teenager determined to carve out a future in sports, Franco dreamed of making it to the top flight of Italian football. Interestingly, his initial breakthrough didn't go according to plan. He attended a trial with Inter Milan alongside his brother Giuseppe. While Inter signed his brother, they rejected Franco, deeming him too small, too slight, and physically inadequate to survive as a top-tier defender. Instead of letting that rejection break his spirit, Franco channeled it into motivation and trialed for AC Milan's youth academy. The Rossoneri scouts immediately saw past his physical frame, recognizing his brilliant football IQ, his instinctual timing, and his supernatural ability to read plays before they unfolded. Franco made his official first-team debut for AC Milan as a teenager in April 1978. From that moment on, he never looked back. He anchored the defense with such maturity that, despite his youth, he was handed the captain's armband at just 22 years old, a role he would proudly hold for 15 historic seasons. The heart and soul of AC Milan. Season after season, Franco poured his heart and soul into the famous red and black jersey. His loyalty stood out as a rare beacon in an era where modern football was becoming increasingly transactional. When AC Milan faced dark times in the early 1980s, including temporary demotions, Baresi refused lucrative offers from other clubs. He stayed, steadfast in his belief that wearing the Milan badge was not merely a job, but a sacred honor. As captain, he spearheaded the most formidable defensive line in the history of the sport, alongside Paolo Maldini, Alessandro Costacurta, and Mauro Tassotti. For Franco, leadership was never about screaming or theatrical displays. It was about setting an unyielding standard through every single action. Under his commanding presence, AC Milan entered a golden era under managers Arrigo Sacchi and Fabio Capello. Together, they dominated European football, capturing multiple Serie A titles, back-to-back European Cups, and setting an astonishing 5-8 match unbeaten streak that remains legendary to this day. Cause of death and the health battle. Then came the heartbreaking news that sent shockwaves through San Siro, across Italy, and to every corner of the global football community. On the 31st of July 2026, Franco Baresi passed away at the age of 66 following a courageously fought, prolonged battle with illness. In 2025, medical specialists discovered a pulmonary nodule in his lung, requiring urgent surgery to remove the growth. Following the operation, Franco underwent intensive medical treatment, including continuous immunotherapy protocols, facing the ordeal with the same silent resilience he brought to the pitch. Despite his unwavering spirit, the tireless efforts of top medical teams, and the constant support of his family, his health gradually declined over the subsequent months. Surrounded by his devoted wife and loved ones, Franco took his final breath, marking the end of an extraordinary life that impacted millions, family and personal life. Off the pitch and away from the roar of tens of thousands of fans at San Siro, Franco Baresi intentionally chose a quiet, understated, and deeply private lifestyle. He was a devoted husband to his wife, Maura Lari, whom he married in 1982, and a protective father to his children. He intentionally shielded his family from the harsh glare of media headlines, preferring to keep his home life centered on peace, discipline, and traditional values. Despite being recognized as one of the most famous athletes in Europe, Franco never bought into the glitz, glamour, or extravagance often associated with modern sports stardom. His greatest pride was never found in flashy cars or material possessions, but in the respect he earned through honesty, humility, and absolute integrity. The art of silent leadership. What truly set Franco Baresi apart from every other defender of his generation? It was his revolutionary demonstration that true authority and world-class defending do not require brute force or aggressive posturing. Operating as a libero, or sweeper, Baresi re-engineered how defense was played. While other defenders reacted to the ball, Franco anticipated it minutes in advance. With an extraordinary sense of spatial awareness, he orchestrating synchronized offside traps simply by raising his arm and stepping forward with total confidence. He led by personal example. Every tackle was clean, every interception calculated, and every recovery run made with absolute commitment. To this day, young defenders in top academies around the world are instructed to study tape of Baresi to understand the art of composure under pressure. Net worth and career value. Across a professional career spanning more than 20 years at the elite level, alongside his post-retirement endeavors in executive administration, brand ambassadorships, and coaching, Franco built a comfortable life. Financial reports and career valuation metrics estimated his total net worth to be between $2 million and $5 million. Yet, anyone who knew Franco understood that finances were entirely secondary to his life's mission. He lived conservatively, often reinvesting his time and resources back into grassroots sports initiatives and charitable youth projects. His true wealth was measured not in bank accounts, but in an incomparable trophy cabinet: 6 Serie A Scudettos, 3 European Cups, a FIFA World Cup, and the everlasting adoration of football fans across the globe, the retired 6 jersey. When Franco Baresi finally decided to hang up his boots in 1997, after playing 719 competitive matches for AC Milan, the club responded with an unprecedented gesture of honor. AC Milan officially and permanently retired his famous 6 jersey. It was the very first time in the historic club's history that a shirt number was taken out of circulation, ensuring that no future player, no matter how famous or expensive, would ever wear the Rossoneri number 6 again. On the day of his farewell match, the entire San Siro stadium wept as Baresi took a final lap around the pitch. It was the closing of a chapter, cementing his name forever as the ultimate symbol of the club, champion of the world. Wearing the blue shirt of the Italian national team was one of the proudest privileges of Franco's life. In 1982, as a promising young defender, he was part of the iconic Italian squad that conquered the world in Spain, lifting the FIFA World Cup trophy. As the years progressed, Baresi grew into the undisputed captain of the Azzurri. One of his most legendary international moments came during the 1994 World Cup in the United States, where, after suffering a torn meniscus and undergoing knee surgery, he returned just 25 days later to put on a legendary defensive performance in the World Cup final against Brazil. His international career stood as a testament to courage, stoicism, and unwavering national pride, earning him the respect of teammates and opponents across every continent. Influence on future generations. For aspiring central defenders, tacticians, and young athletes across the world, Franco Baresi's career remains the definitive masterclass in footballing excellence. He shattered the myth that central defenders needed to rely solely on physical size or aggression to dominate matches. Instead, he proved that brainpower, positional awareness, precise passing, and technical elegance could shut down the world's most lethal forwards. Modern defensive icons from Paolo Maldini to Fabio Cannavaro and Virgil van Dijk have all pointed to Baresi as the foundational archetype for how a modern centre-back should read the game and lead a team. His continued voyage with Milan, even after he retired from active play, Franco's relationship with AC Milan never faded. The club was never just an employer, it was his second family and his life's home. Lessons from his life. As we reflect upon the 66 years of Franco Baresi's life, his journey leaves us with 3 profound life lessons. 1. Turn rejection into purpose. Being turned away by Inter Milan as a teenager could have ended his dreams. Instead, he used that rejection to fuel a 2-0-year career that made him an immortal figure across the street at AC Milan. 2. The power of loyalty. In a world that constantly modernizes and changes, staying loyal to your home, your team, and your principles creates an enduring legacy that money can never buy. 3. Lead through action. True authority isn't claimed by shouting louder than everyone else, it is earned through quiet discipline, consistency, and sacrifice. Final farewell. Franco Baresi passed away on the 31st of July 2026, at the age of 66. While his physical presence is no longer with us on this earth, his extraordinary spirit, his unmatched career, and his immortal legacy will continue to live on in every football stadium where the game is played with honor. Rest in peace, Franco Baresi. Thank you for the memories, the quiet leadership, and the unmatched passion you gave to the beautiful game. You will forever remain our captain. If this tribute resonated with you, please take a moment to like this video, share it with fellow football enthusiasts, and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth stories about sports legends. We would love to hear your favorite memory of Franco Baresi in the comments below. Thank you for watching your Star Facts, and we look forward to seeing you in the next story.